with us Nigerians. So, and it's 30 years down the line. By June this year, it will be 30 years that epoch was recorded. And today, the same SDP, the same ideology, pro-people ideology, pro-Nigeria ideology, still remains the central driving the core of the ideology of the party. And we are here again marching forward to a greater Nigeria through the vehicle of the SDP.
All right, based on your response, how does that intend to favor your party in this political dispensation? Yes,
the Nigerian situation has not changed. I don't think it is debatable that no one can argue with that. We have made much progress. We are even worse off now. Nigeria has never been this divided. We have never had this kind of insecurity since after the Civil War. One form of insecurity or the other ravaging the land. Nigeria is under siege everywhere. And the tension, the conflict, and the rising insecurity, the hunger in the land, and the high risk of the high despondency amongst the citizens. So Nigerians are looking for positive change, a change in the status quo, to move us from where we are. It is a parlor state we are at the moment, to a brighter future, a place where life will be truly meaningful for Nigerians. And SDP is, without any doubt in my mind, that Nigerians look to the SDP because it's the party. When you look at the ideology, look at the structure of the party, the people driving the party, the mindset of the people in the party is about Nigeria, not necessarily about religion, not about ethnicity, but leadership that is people-oriented, leadership that is patriotic, right, and leadership that thinks about the future of Nigeria and Nigerians.
All right, then, based on your response, how then would you rate the chances of your presidential candidate against formidable opponents like Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu of the APC, Atiku Abubakar of the PDP, and Peter Obi of the Labour Party?
Yeah, and that is why Prince Adewale Adebayo stands the best chance so far because, one, he's new, he's a fresh breath. It's a refreshing hope. It's something distinct from the story of failed leadership that we had over the years, the corrupt of the leadership we've had over the years. And, Prince Adewale Adebayo is the only candidate among these lists we have mentioned that is not having the minutest of challenge of moral baggage of corruption or anything, or records that are not open, that people cannot relate with. So the truth of the matter is that Nigerians are yearning for a fresh breath, a new hope, and what will change the negative narrative we had over the years, something different from what we have. All these people you've mentioned, they've been part of where we are. They have played one role or the other, one as a former minister, former governor, two of them former governors and former vice presidents. They've done well for Nigeria in their own different capacities in the past. But Nigerians are saying, no, we want to have something new, something different, something that we can relate with, something that is about the people, not necessarily about a lifetime ambition of it's my lifetime ambition to be president. It is my ambition to be this that has made one to be there in the last 30 years running for the same office. And then it's not about sloganeering. It's not about empty promises. People want who can deliver. People who can relate with their realities and their challenges, and people who can a leader that can connect with them and feel their pulse. Adewale He's a young Nigerian. He's just 51-year-old and has achieved so much for himself. Everywhere he goes, people say, wow, where have you been? Where has this guy been over the years? He's the best among them in terms of content, in terms of the worldview, in terms of grasp of issues and all of that. And practical, realistic propositions is what he brings to the table. So basically, it is not no gainsaying the fact that Adewale connects with the mood of the nation at this time, something different, something that can inspire confidence and hope in the people. Nigerians are losing hope and trust in this, in the leadership as we have today, and anything that is part of what we have been coming from, especially in the last 7 years, Nigerians are not finding it funny to want to relate with. They want something different.
All right, then. Your presidential candidate, Adewale Adebayo, was at the Nigerian Institute for International Affairs rather than the Chatham House, where other candidates have been. Why? Why this? Why not the Chatham House?
That's one of those things that make him to be the best among them. Somebody who has for the sovereignty of Nigeria. The problem can only be solved from home. Not out there. That nobody will come from out there outside Nigeria to come and solve your problems. You must be able to come and relate with the people, put your solutions and the points you have, the ideas you have, the great ideas, put it on the table and market your ideas and let people connect with you. Adebayo decided not to go to Chatham. He was the first presidential candidate that was contacted by Chatham. He had engagement with them. But it is not, no, charity begins at home. I have to honor Nigerian Institute of International Affairs, NIIA, Koyi, Lagos, Victoria, Lagos, is the great ideas of moving Africa forward. ECOWAS was formed in that institute. You understand? And all of that. So if you have such a prestigious institution, and people who want to become Nigerian president, they don't value, they don't think that that is a platform through which Nigeria could be projected. And so Adewale decided, no, that is the right place for me to be. And he was invited, and as a guest speaker, everybody connected with us and said, wow, there has never been, among those who commented, from our diplomats, experts, and other at the event yesterday, they said there has never been any presidential candidate who has this kind of deep understanding of foreign policy and all of that, the dynamics.
All right, then let me ask you, what part of the country do you consider as the stronghold of the SDP, where it will get the needed votes?
Nigerian landscape, because the people who want Adebayo are everywhere. It is not about, it is about the issue that are of fundamental concern to Nigerians: poverty, insecurity, displacement, and lack of cohesion, mutual distrust, and all of that. People are miles apart in Nigeria. Hausa, Igbo, it has never been this bad. And so nobody is looking at where you are from. The Nigerian population that will determine who becomes president, they are everywhere. It's not about one region. No region will deliver Nigeria president. It will deliver presidency to Nigeria. A Nigerian presidential candidate to win election, he must have simple. And so that will come from across Nigeria. So Nigerians everywhere, the youth, the women, the hapless Nigerians everywhere, they are the population that will give Adebayo the vote to become president.
All right. You know, just yesterday, the chairman of SDP in Lagos, that's Dabira Oluwadeyinka, with 15 other party chieftains defected to the PDP. So if this is happening, party officials.
Okay.
So if this is happening in a state like Lagos, then what chances does your party have?
Yes, thank you for bringing this. It is important. We are in a critical time. Election is just by the corner. This is the moment, this is the time that people who have stolen Nigeria dry, people who have had control over the resources of the country, the big part you have, and all of that. you discover that this is the time that they are engaging in their trade. They have the resources to post, to induce people and all of that. And this is the time. And mind you, the state chairman that moved out of the party is within her right to, she reserved the right to move to anywhere he sees. But the truth of the matter is that it has not much impact on us because, one, that has been effectively taken care of by the national leader of the party that is effectively structured, fully functioning. And so right instantly, the leadership took care of that and appointed the secretary of the Southwest to move in and take charge of the situation and stabilize the. So people that moved, they just they followed where they are bred according to them. The woman that moved is a young woman. And she went there and said, I listened to her, said, she moved into a place where youths have been taking care. If a party, a platform that gave you the structure to be state chairman, what other things do you want? So it's not about ideology, it's just about other considerations.
Mr. Yenigba, we will definitely continue this discussion when we come back after this break. Please stay with us.
Nigeria needs focused leadership to take decisive action to end total peace in the land. Tinubu is the right for the job. Through technology, he will reposition Nigeria for businesses to thrive, Nigeria, and improve farmers' welfare. Electricity will be reformed for a brighter Nigeria. Health, education, and housing will be more accessible and affordable. Nigeria will be transformed into an entertainment powerhouse, a home of sporting achievement, and a renowned tourist destination. Tinubu's government will build a Nigeria where we prosper together. He has done it before, and he will do it again for Nigeria.
For renewed hope 2023, vote Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Senator Kashim Shettima as President and Vice President of Nigeria. Vote APC.
Welcome back to Politics Tonight, and I still have with me the National Publicity Secretary of the Social Democratic Party, Mr. Rufus Ayenigba. Now, let me ask you, do you feel betrayed by Ms. Adeyinka's move into the PDP?
No. No. In fact, we are proud that she came in, got two-thirds. She got a platform to show her face and so whatever she can do, and maybe as a result of that platform that we've given, she's noticed by some other political parties, and they ask her to join them. But one thing I want you to know is that this is the season. There's nothing new in people moving. It has the history is there. Parties, you see governors, you see people moving to APC people moving to PD, people in presidential campaign council of a major political party resigning and joining and all that. So there's nothing new. It's just part of the game.
You know, your party has continued to deny having an alliance with any political party. I would like to know what is really happening, because this has continued to surface.
That has been effectively taken care of. We did a World Press Conference, and there was hugely put across to Nigerians, television, radio, newspapers, and all of that. And we said categorically that the guy who is behind all of these is unknown to the party.
So why
He's no longer a party. Remember, he was in 2019. And so, as we speak, the same guy is in another party playing a role in one of their support groups. So it is just, don't rule out this game of people trying to any political party that is a major threat to the so-called big, they will get people who want to use to destabilize them.
Correct.
And so the guy is just one of those characters.
All right, away from your party for a minute, how will you describe INEC's preparation for the coming election?
Yeah, INEC has done well so far. We keep on commending INEC and trusting and encouraging them to keep the good job going. And with the reforms, the innovation, the briefers, and all of that, this commission has done well, and they have demonstrated to say it's Uhuru yet until the job is done. So we'll continue to encourage them and continue to pray that the system, the essential security architecture that is required to get the election through is provided. Insecurity is a threat to election. We have had the elections in the past, presidential election that was shifted for a number of days or weeks because of insecurity. If we pray that all these sponsored actions against the commission, facilities here and there, stop, all these actions, all these destruction and intimidation, I want to say, of the commission by anti-democratic elements, people who don't mean well for Nigeria. So if all these things stop, and I trust the capacity of this government, if they want to do that, if the president has said it repeatedly that he wants to leave a legacy of a credible election, and that's one of those things that we will continue to. When the Electoral Act was signed, we submitted our position on that was that as a party that the Electoral Act that was signed by the president perhaps be the defining legacy of the president. And because if well administered, genuinely and patriotically administered, we would have a credible election. But you can't rule out people with tendencies to subvert the process.
All right, finally, before we go, let me have your last message for Nigerians.
Our message to Nigerians is that they should not lose hope. They should keep faith in the country. There's hope in sight for us to reclaim Nigeria, to banish poverty when a party comes in. It is the ideology of any political party and what they stand for and what they have done in the past that will determine what they will do, not the promises. And so SDP is known for, over the years, it has the history of promoting pro-government policies, and that is what we will do to make life better, truly better, and renew the hope of Nigerians and rebuild the trust that's broken down about Nigeria on the part of Nigerians.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Rufus Ayenigba. He is the National Publicity Secretary of the Social Democratic Party. He is also the convener and chairman of Conference of Spokespersons of Political Parties in Nigeria. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you for
on Politics Tonight.
We appreciate it. Thank you.
And thank you very much for watching. That marks the end of today's episode of Politics Tonight. Continues from here. Get on Twitter at TVC News NG and at Olajumoke using the hashtag Politics Tonight. We're also on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. Join us for the repeat episode at midnight and tomorrow for another edition of Politics Tonight. Digging beyond the headlines. I am Olajumoke Olatuji. Goodbye.
The following is a paid presentation by ShopX TV. Happy New Year! ShopX TV is proud to bring you a very special offer. Yes, from now till January 31st, 2023, we are offering our customers an opportunity to save up to 66% of our best-selling kiddies product. You need Happy Nappers, the perfect plate pillows that pull open to a sleepy sack surprise. So pull and zip. Your child can snuggle up and nap inside of it.
They are happy, happy nappers. They love to sleep and play with you.
Then Then, when it's time to sleep, you just pull on their feet. Sleepy time, playtime, anytime is happy napper time. And when the napping is done, they fold back in for even more fun. Ordinarily, play pillows or blankets are not as much fun. They don't hold the heat in, unlike happy nappers. Just look at the fun characters that your kids will love, and the sleep sacks are completely enclosed to keep your child warm and cozy during nap times or even through the night.
Toluani absolutely loves her Happy Nappers kitty cat. It's pink, girly, and fluffy. Everything that she loves. I love it because it's a 2-in-1. She can play with it all day, and when she's tired, she can take a nap in it.
The Tana loves his Happy Nappers Grey Shark. He loves playing with it and has real adventures with the shark. It's been really hard for him to sleep recently, but thanks to his Happy Nappers Shark, he finds it so easy to sleep all through the night. And to be honest, it's simply easier for me too as well.
With millions of units sold worldwide, Happy Nappers is now available in Nigeria exclusively from ShopX TV. Every Happy Nappers character is unique. You can choose from pink cat, grey shark, white unicorn, and even a pink unicorn. Don't forget, Happy Nappers comes with ShopX TV's 30-day money-back guarantee. Happy Nappers are a great gift for any child and comes in medium and large sizes. The large is ideal for kids that are over 7 years of age. Get the ShopX Medium Happy Napper for 25,950 Naira and the large Happy 9,950 Naira only. But wait, if you order right now, you can get 3 medium Happy Nappers for 59,950 Naira and 3 large Happy Nappers for 69,950 Naira. Call the number on your screen now or visit our website to order yours now. But hurry, limited stock available. So call now while stock lasts.
You can be a happy napper too!
Proceeding was a paid presentation by ShopX TV.
At TVC News, wherever the big news story is happening, we're geared up to break it. TVC News, first with breaking news. At TVC News, wherever the big news story is happening, we're geared up to break it. TVC News, first.
You attended the 17th technical session of the National Council on Transportation. Glazed eyes were opened to spectacular goings-on and potentials in the transportation sector. Presentations on clean fuels that Nigeria has in abundance and the effect of illicit drugs on the sector were just 2 of the well-received papers at the 17th National Council on Transportation. The theme of this year's council meeting was transport technology and innovation for socio-economic sustainability. How Nigeria keys into technology for transport generated a very robust debate. Apart from presenting memos that are capable of evolving a viable transportation sector, participants suggested workable strategies in line with global trends. We have details of that interactive session on this week's episode of The Shipper. Please stay tuned, and thanks for joining us on the program. My name is Rekia Zikru Yagoyaju, and I'll be back shortly.
Nigerian Shippers Council, they to serve you well. No matter the problem, we go solve them for you.
Yes, so the Nigerian Shippers Council, they feel in a parole now for every level. And as soon as goods, they move from port A, go enter port B with a measure within on a needle. For the Nigerian Shippers Council, we don't sharp proper to fit hear you wella, work with you wella, and help you fit serve your customers them better, no matter where them day. As we country port economic regulator, the Nigerian so get every now to fit make government consider the problem where shippers them they face. Visit we office phone number by your daily show your daily papa email us for nsc@shipperscouncil.gov.ng. We website now www.shipperscouncil.gov.ng.
For you, we dey
Nigerian Shippers Council with a meeting now for the port of Nani.
Welcome back. You're watching The Shipper, brought to you courtesy of Nigerian Shippers Council, the nation's port economic regulator. The 4-day National Council on Transportation has come and gone. Memos from stakeholders ranging from associations, transport unions, non-governmental organizations, federal, state and local government entities and the private sector were received and reviewed. Some made the cuts and were deemed worthy of escalation, while some were stepped down for various reasons.
Transport itself is based on technology. You want to operate transport, it's technology. And if you want to maintain transport, it's technology. Now, even the issue of enforcement and regulation, technology has come to play.
Looking at global best practices, other countries are where they are today as a result of technology deployment. Considering our transport sector, looking at all the modes of transport, the road transport, the rail, the sea, we can see that these whole sectors are actually calling for help. And the only solution to this is the deployment of sound technology and innovation, cutting across all these modes of transport.
How do we sustain it? The sustainability will come from policy. Government has to make a policy recognizing that these things have been discovered and there's a need to keep it going.
One of such innovative technology that can really take us in socio-economic planning is the use of ITS, Intelligent Technology for Transportation Systems. These are maybe gadgets, maybe equipment, maybe devices that obtain data.
We need to leverage on the current technology and innovation in this key area. Once we do that, not just only be efficient, it's going to be very effective. And so a lot of resources will be saved, man-hour will be reduced.
Some made the cuts and were deemed worthy of escalation, while some were stepped down for various reasons. Today's program looks at the very important papers that were presented, as well as some of the issues that stakeholders are concerned about. On its part, government has assured stakeholders in the transportation sector of its resolve to implement policies that will reposition the sector to play its role in the National Council on Transportation in Abuja. Abike Idowu was at the 4-day event, and her report is presented by Lucy Udugbe.
The movement of goods and services from one location to another promotes social cohesion, integration, and connectivity in any society. Movement is absolutely essential. Part of a government's responsibility is to ensure sustainable means of transportation to facilitate the movement in all ramifications. This underscores the importance of transportation as a significant factor in the sustainable development of any economy. In Nigeria, the transportation ways to achieving practical and homegrown solutions to addressing gaps in that sector. It was in line with that objective that policymakers, operators, and other stakeholders gathered at the 17th National Council on Transportation. For the Minister of Transportation, Engineer Muazu Sambu, the need to come up with sustainable policies is serious business that requires the commitment of every stakeholder. He assured participants of government's resolve to accomplish the resolutions reached at the end of the meeting.
Whatever the federal government does will be meaningless unless states are on board. The majority of our people live in the states, and so we expect state governments to innovate, come on board with the broad principles